Have you ever been seriously underestimated, or maybe even betrayed by someone you trusted? Well, today we are diving into this incredible story about two brothers-in-law, a business deal that goes completely sideways, and how sometimes the quietest person in the room ends up making the loudest impact. This is a story all about substance over style. So let's meet our two main players. On one side, you've got Daniel Brooks. He's this honest, super hardworking tech guy, owner of a small startup, lives a pretty simple life. And on the other side, you've got his brother-in-law, Ryan Miller, who is, well, the complete and total opposite. And man, you can really see the difference here. Daniel's whole world was about substance, just quiet, focused work. Ryan, on the other hand, was all about style, the flashy cars, the big social media presence, the whole show. He was the kind of guy who'd look at Daniel and say, "You're a small thinker. You're never going to make it big." Now, with two guys who see the world so differently, you just knew they were going to clash eventually. And that moment arrived when Ryan came to Daniel just beaming with confidence, talking about what he called a golden opportunity. The offer honestly sounded perfect. Daniel, the tech whiz, would handle the product. Ryan, the smooth talker, would handle the investors and the big picture stuff. And because it's family, Daniel trusted him and agreed to the partnership. But he had no idea Ryan was playing an entirely different game. So here is the twist, and it is just brutal. Ryan secretly structured the entire deal in his own name, using legal loopholes to completely cut Daniel out. The betrayal was just total. And the fallout? It was devastating. Within just a few months, Daniel's own startup, his original company, went under. And Ryan didn't just win, he gloated. Oh yeah, at family get-togethers, he dropped these little passive-aggressive bombs like, business isn't for everyone, just twisting the knife and making it seem like Daniel just wasn't cut out for it. Okay, now this is where the story gets really interesting. Instead of getting angry, or lashing out, or getting stuck playing the blame game, Daniel made a really powerful choice. He just went silent. He disappeared into his work. For the next year, Daniel basically gave a masterclass in focus. He didn't waste a single drop of energy on revenge. Nope. Instead, he channeled all of it into action. He leveled up his coding skills, he developed a brand new AI product from the ground up, and he quietly built a small, super dedicated team around him. So, fast forward exactly 1 year later, we're at a major tech conference, and the results of Daniel's year of silence are about to be revealed to the entire world, and, of course, to his very unsuspecting brother-in-law. The whole conference is buzzing about this revolutionary new company that's just gone viral, and when the CEO walks on stage to accept a big award, who is it? It's Daniel Brooks, the quiet, low-profile guy his own family had completely written off. Can you just imagine the shock in that room, especially on Ryan's face? And this wasn't just some feel-good story. The results were absolutely brutal. Daniel's company didn't just do well, it completely dominated. It took over the market and started poaching major clients, including some of Ryan's biggest accounts. Meanwhile, Ryan's company, the one built on all that flash and hype, it was crumbling under lawsuits and just terrible management. So, with his business failing and his reputation just shot, a totally defeated Ryan finally had to go face the music. He had no choice but to confront the man he had so badly betrayed. He walks into Daniel's new, beautiful office and admits he made a mistake. But listen really closely to what he says. "I underestimated you." See, he still thinks the problem was his miscalculation of Daniel's abilities. He was about to learn a very hard lesson in perspective. Daniel's reply is so calm, so quiet, and it just cuts right to the absolute truth of the entire situation. That was the real lesson here. The problem was never Daniel's talent or his potential. It was Ryan's blinding, out-of-control ego. He actually believed his style was more valuable than Daniel's substance. So what is the big takeaway from Daniel's incredible journey? I mean, his response to being betrayed is basically a playbook for turning a disaster into a huge advantage. It's not just about bouncing back, it's about building back smarter. Daniel's strategy was perfect because it was so focused. He totally sidestepped the whole revenge thing, because honestly, what a waste of energy, right? Instead, he chose to compete. But how he competed is the genius part. He did it legally, by building a product that was just flat out better, and smartly, by seeing a gap in the market his flashy competitor was totally ignoring.
He focused on silent execution, and he just let the results do all the talking.
And this, right here, this really gets to the core of it all. See, Ryan was driven by a need for external validation, the applause, the flashy stuff. He was trying to prove Daniel wrong. But Daniel's drive, that was all internal. He wasn't fueled by anger at all. He was motivated by his craft, by the challenge, by the simple joy of building something great. And that's the real difference between a flash-in-the-pan success and a lasting legacy. Which brings us to one last thing to think about. After all of that, with Ryan's company in ruins and him coming to you completely beaten, what would you do? Would you help him out? Maybe offer him a hand? Or would you just walk away and let him deal with the consequences of his own actions? It's a really tough question about where that line between success and forgiveness really is.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe my channel.